All right, so like the outfit, okay, the glasses, the fit, the hair, the Wu-Tang ring. Show that off. Love it, love it. Show them your outfit. Would you mind standing up, showing what you made here?
So, my outfit, little Spidey gloves as the belt. And then I got the socks with the long socks and the kicks.
Those are the first set of shoes that have been on this table. No, you're good. You're good. So, Arie, welcome. You know, one of the things that I was really excited to have you on for the podcast for was because every time I see you, you always have an immaculate outfit. You know, the first time I met you, I believe you were wearing a leopard print outfit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, no. Wait. Leopard print outfit, or I think I think we were like a sergeant because I could recall calling you Sarge.
Okay,
I was like,
yeah,
what up, Sarge?
might have had the hat on.
Yeah,
the sergeant hat on with the jacket. I like army fatigue and like captain hats and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably what you saw me in. Yeah,
I idolize people who have harnessed the power of fashion. Okay. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not the most fashionable guy out there, but I know how to dress casual, like business casual. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And with that being said, like there are times, the hardest thing for me to do before I do a show is honestly pick a fucking outfit.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. I hate it.
yeah. I mean, I normally I think I go by the theme of the party or the event first, and then I try to imagine or create a look or whatever. But for the most part, I'm like obsessed with like army fatigue or animal print, and I try to like incorporate both of those, or like I don't know, like kente cloth, shit like that, like something like that like speaks, but then like all black everything.
You try to not wear the same thing twice, right?
That too.
Yes, that's the big part.
That's a major part, yeah.
And with the pod, it's like, that's the thing that I literally look through my outfits and I'm just like, damn, all right, wore that. But then also, I'll look at my podcast for inspiration for when I'm going out to be like, all right, you kind of look good when you were wearing that.
Right.
So, wear it out in the public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, it's okay to remix an outfit or two. You know what I'm saying? That you definitely got like a standing ovation with. So even if you didn't, that means nobody saw it. So we're going to bust it out again.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. So with that being said, everyone, welcome to the Middleman Podcast. I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez, and I am joined by Disco Make Up Arie.
That's me.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for being
here.
Thank
you for having me.
As we just said, your outfit is phenomenal, and I really do love the Wu-Tang ring there because
made out of brass. You know what I'm saying? It was actually a prototype piece, and a friend of mine gifted it to me. He was like, "You can have it," but he wound up. His name is Johnny Nelson. He's from Brooklyn, originally from London, and he is just amazing. He did a whole 4-finger ring of Mount Rushmore, but like what he would think it would look like iconic black folks, like hip hop moguls and things of that nature. So he did like his own thing, and he got notoriety for that. And yeah, I just been rocking the woo. It's like, hey, you like what you see?
I do. Just always trying to stay unique. I got this one little Wu-Tang, and this card stays here. Like, I don't know where to put it, but it's like I went to a concert, Wu-Tang and Nas, and it was this year, and like that was a poster, but put in a card form. Yeah. So I was like,
that's major.
Yeah, I actually I saw your ring, and then I was like, oh, I have this here.
This is authentic. Oh, it was meant to be.
I keep it. I keep it here. I keep it here all the time.
That's what's up.
But let's get into you. I'm so happy you're here. Disco Make Up Arie. One of my biggest things is the disco part of it.
Okay.
Because it's just like that's such a unique phrase. Just disco.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you earn that nickname?
Well, I kind of earned it from like being out in the club scene, hanging out with different people in the industry and doing a lot of events. I used to work at Webster Hall. Like I had a weekly, which was every Thursday, and then I was working there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it became like a way of life, I guess.
What industry are we referring to?
We're referring to I guess like club life, and like I don't necessarily call myself a club kid, but it was kind of like along those lines. Mm-hmm. And then basically just going out every night, getting wasted, and trying to network with people and be like, okay, we're going to work on this. We're going to do this. Like, we all have big dreams. We're going to make them happen. And then, I started parading myself at different venues. And then one day my homegirl was like, "Oh, your name should be Disco," and I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Well, you like old school music. Every time you come in the room, a song is playing, and like." It's honestly like a consciousness for me because I grew up with like old school music and like my grandparents and like my mom playing certain songs and she would play them just to fill the air, you know? And I'd be like, "Mom, why you play that song?" She'd be like, "Cuz I just got to get out of my funk." And I'd be like, "All right." But yeah, it was also to keep me sound, you know? The word disco, it means a lot to different people, but for me, it's like the struggle and the beauty of like growing up in Harlem and in New York and like I have family from that era and I came from that era and they basically passed down their consciousness to me and I just never lost it.
So the disco era flows through you. You would
Pretty
say.
much, yeah, yeah.
Essentially, I mean, I could look at the outfit. Look at the glasses. I mean, like the glasses are very like 80s, funk disco. Like let's pop out, let's have a great time. I could
Totally.
see you in one of these like dancing workout videos. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like,
what? Please just throw on the record or throw on the song. I'm all about it. Like and also like a lot of the songs that were played back then spoke about like I don't know, they were stories, or like spoke about love, hardships, breakups, food, getting down, dancing and jamming, boogieing and all this other stuff. But you never knew what you was getting, but you knew you was gonna be filled with something.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I like it. Like it made me feel comfortable. Like, oh, that's disco. Oh, what's up? Oh, how you
that's
doing, girl?
disco. That's
Yeah,
such
like
a
it's just
sturdy
this, like,
nickname.
yeah. Thank you.
Of course, of course. And it's so I know you mentioned being a part of the parties. Webster Hall, which ironically right before we got on the show, I literally just ran across that. Like
Nice.
I was just looking at that. I was looking at some of your photos. I was looking at your blog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's talk about, who you are. The other part of her name is Makeup Arie. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
you are talented in the makeup, but before you got into being an artist, you were doing modeling.
Yeah. I actually was. Like, so I guess it got to a point in life where it was like, oh, you're from New York. What do you do? And so many people who aren't from New York come to New York for their dreams and to make them come true. And it's like, well, I'm from here. I was born here. I was raised here. I should be able to like get this, right? And it's like, no. Sometimes you have to like you go for it and it doesn't execute the way you exactly want it to. Like things don't span out the way that you want them to, but it could be for the better. You never know,
Mhm.
Sometimes you're connecting with people and you're thinking you're making a connection. It's like, yeah, I do this. And it's like, oh wait, you don't do that? Like everything was trial and error. But like as a model, you're there to wear the clothes and not say shit. You're not allowed to like have makeup on. I mean, like it's very light. You can't have jewelry on. Excuse me. And the clothes that you wear have to be very minimal. So you have to be ready to be a hanger. And I was like, okay, I could do this. I could shut up and da 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 da. Da. But then it got to a point where it was like each and every gig, I have no say. Like this is what I'm wearing. And like I'm not saying every shoot that I went to, a person I was working with, like this is how it was. But for the most part, you are there to be the hanger. Like you're just there to wear the clothes. And like if you want to have a little bit of personality, like please don't. Like the agent, like either you hired by an agency or you picked up a gig because of a friend, and they were like, oh, she can do the job, but then they're looking for something, and you could be that something, but you might not be. So it was just like, screw that. So once I was done doing the modeling thing, I was like, that did it. I went to a photo shoot and I met this artist, a makeup artist named Tanisha Faye, and she was already like, she was a freelancer of her own, like in her own right. And she was like, oh, I'm a makeup artist. I do this. I've been doing this for decades. I'm just telling you, like, if you want to do this, you're going to have to do a lot of free work. And I was like, well, I already do a lot of free work. So, I mean, modeling has its like ups and downs, literally. So I was like, nah, I'm going to try it out. And I just picked up a brush. And whenever she had a shoot, she called me and I was her assistant for like, maybe like 2 to 5 years or so, on and off. And then started picking up gigs myself and started working with different people, and the rest is history.
As a model, I'm not too familiar with the model game, but the way you put it together there to think of a person as a hanger, more so as an object and instead of a human being. Was that something that they would disclose to you, or they probably would give you this pretty picture, and then you would be found in the spot where it's like, wow, I really have no say in what I'm doing here?
Well, I mean,
little to no say.
Well, besides looking for opportunities to get out of the hood, it was like, if this is all that I have to do, I'm with it. But there comes up, there's like a glimmer of hope in your life when you start to notice how everybody else is doing their thing, and that's not you. So it's like, I don't know if this is for me, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna get the free clothing. I'm gonna network with these girls. I'm gonna get to know these guys or photographers or whatever. I'm going to do everything that I can so that I can level up, like learn what you need to learn, and then find something else. But don't shade on the other models that are trying to get their feet wet or back broke, whatever. Like it's a lot of stuff that goes on, and it's like, it's not just I like to think I come from the era of when you had to literally step on the pavement, come outside, go to the shoot, bring your portfolio, bring your book. We had no phones. All we had was pens and them cards and your brain. And if you don't know how to navigate, you will be lost. But it's okay to ask for help or to ask for direction or call 911 if you need me, whatever, 411. But for information, like just little things that I don't think in the modeling industry get taught to the girls, but they rely on the agency to do these things for them. And that could be dangerous, especially if they're like, misguiding you. It's your career, So
yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing I was like, I don't know. I want to be able to still do what I do, like what I do, love what I do, and have my mom by my side and be like, yeah, I knew you was gonna do that. I could invite her and be like, Mom, this is guilt free. Or we're grown now, so you could see me like this, and she'd be like, yeah, all right. You're right. Like, it's funny now. But
so then you made the transition, right? You made the transition from a model to an artist, and you were working under who again?
So I've worked with like various artists, up and coming and like industry wise, but not really to be like, yo, I'm a name drop. I mean, I've met.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You mentioned Tina or
Tanisha Faye.
Tanisha Faye. Okay,
yes.
Tanisha Faye.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically, opened up that world to you, right?
Right. Yeah.
And she got you started on that track. Talk to me about schooling. Talk to me about She mentioned that you were going to do a lot of free work, right?
Yeah.
And, you said you did it both in modeling and with makeup artists. So talk to me about that.
Yeah. Well, so she basically, like, put me onto game in the sense of, you got to hustle and make sure, like, each and every gig that you get is, solid and that you're getting paid. And if you're not getting paid, you need to, like, make sure that you, like, say that within the whatchamacallit, like to the person that you're working with, because it really does make sense to get paid for the work that you do. However, sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and so you need to work on knowing contracts and stuff like that. So she basically was self-taught, and I think she did a couple of like classes here and there, but it was all on her. Like, she taught me how to buy the kit, how to go to the makeup district or how to go to the garment district and haggle with the folks and buy the makeup in bulk.
Really?
Like, she taught me how to, like, search for certain brands. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean that it's cheap. Just know what's inside the product so that you can apply it. If you have to take the product and, like, finesse it with some water or oil, like, know how to, like, know how to work it. But no matter what, know what you're buying and make sure your clients aren't breaking out in hives and rashes,
Of course.
And make sure you have clean utensils or clean tools to use when you working with them. Because honestly, like, I don't think anybody wants any eye fungus, but
No.
Yeah. It's just a thing, But practice clean, etiquette, and like also when it comes to schooling, it's okay if you want to invest in yourself. Sometimes there are free programs that will provide for you so that you can, like, learn more than what you have been doing. Or actually, like, sometimes it's good to get some kind of accreditation under your belt so people could take you more seriously. Because sometimes I'm self-taught, I've done this, I work with so-and-so and big name here and there. Mm-hmm. People don't care, they want to see the paper. And then some people don't care about the paper, they want to see who you work with. So do it all, god dang it. Do it all. Get all the certifications you can, learn as much as you can. work with as many people as you can because that's a part of you and your journey. And also getting paid, you never know.
Networking, getting the schooling, getting a certificate, having the ability to create the portfolio. You said it. You grew up in an era where you had to carry around folders and cards, and
Yeah.
you had to insert yourself. As to now,
Yep.
where I have it a bit easier because all I have to do is slide in your DM and be like, "Hey, how are you doing today? I run a podcast. Here is my portfolio on the social media profile, and I don't have to have that face-to-face interaction with them.
The footwork, the fancy footwork is where it's at, But if like, I like to think that humbly I did all of that so that somebody else who sees how I move can move quicker. And that's what it is now. It's very humbling. Like, you don't know until you're like in a room with a bunch of people and you're like, wait a minute, I always dreamt about this shit. You know what? I'm gonna just take it for what it is and be happy. Like you're always gonna want more, as you should. That's just what life is. But
I love how you're talking about this right now because it's like setting things up for what I want to talk to you later in a book right here, real quick. But before we do that, this is bothering me since we started the show, so I need to fix it real quick.
Okay. Oh.
He's straight now. Jeez,
You're not supposed to be straight.
I've been staring at that for a minute, and I'm so sorry for that little. I'm like, you gotta fix that real quick. So back to schooling and training and techniques. One of the things that you added in the conversation that we had prior to the podcast was a technique that helped with hand-eye coordination, and I was a little bit I was like, okay, that's a little. I didn't expect that answer. You said that video games were a technique and a method.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think everybody should learn how to play video games. It not only helps with the dexterity of your fingertips, but it also helps you, like just learning how to use your eyes and your fingers at the same time.
Yes.
And when you do makeup, I mentioned video games because it's like when you how do I say this? Like when you're doing makeup on a person's face, you're creating a look, or you're giving them like features, like making their face symmetrical or whatever. Like there's all these ways of like making them look like alive. And like when you play video games, not only are you practicing like where your eyes look and where your hands like move.
You are so right.
It's the same thing. It's like you want to be able to create the look and make it as perfect as possible. But in a video game, you win. You're feverishly trying to get to the goal, like, or the point, or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I guess with makeup, it's kind of the same thing because you'll be spending hours on a person's face or body to achieve this look just for this shoot that's only going to take an hour to 4 hours. It's insane, but it's like it's work. it's honestly it's effortless to me now because I guess you could say I'm a trained creative since I was a kid. Like I've always been in art, and like I went from drawing stick figures to drawing better stick figures. So it's like I still draw stick figures. But
Good.
Always, I'm always up for the challenge when it comes to video games.
Always looking to learn, and so you did end up going to school as well?
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
I spent 9 months of my life going to cosmetology school in Brooklyn, which was fire. My mom at the time was just coming out of like paraprofessionalism and becoming a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So she was going to like all these I guess they were like programs to make sure like she received the information, knew what she was learning and things of that nature. And there was like a flyer in the room, and she just ripped it. She's like, "Shh, this for my baby." I was like, "Mom, why you didn't leave that thing to share with everybody?" She said, "Trust me, that paper must have been there for weeks before I pulled it down. When I pulled it down, I knew it was for you." I said, "Okay, then I guess so. I guess you're right." So I wound up going because not only was it something to do, but it was a challenge. And from where I'm from, if you're going to go to school, and I'm going to say this, it was a free tuition for 9 months. I had to sacrifice waking up 9 to 12. I went to a job readiness training program for a month, which was 2 weeks, 9 to 12, and then the next 2 weeks, 9 to 4, basically to show the initiative that I wanted to go to the program and go to the cosmetology school for free.
Mm.
That was the
footwork.
Yeah. And pretty much like, okay, this is you signing yourself off. And I was like, all right, cool. And once I passed that month, they even help me with like resume help and like, you know, learning how to like, I don't get my feet back in the work field or whatever, but they're teaching me things that I kind of know, but like I've been applying, and then you look around you and go, but people are still learning how to apply what you just learned.
Yes.
Deep shit. I mean, excuse me, but
No,
it's so deep because it's like, yo, I know this, and then it's like, oh, you know this, but that's why you need to be in this class to teach these other people. And it's like, I don't need to touch. It's humbling. You do need to teach them. I mean, how else do you learn? Each one teach one, reach one. So when I went, it was like, okay, I'm not just doing this for my mom, but I'm doing this for me and in the future. And if I pass, I get to brag all I want. Yeah, I got a trade school education. Like, and like I can also put other people on. Unfortunately, the school closed down, or like they changed their name. They had to go through like a whole, you know, revamp. Yeah, rebrand and all of that. Some of us know why schools do that, and a lot of us, you know, we just gonna be quiet. But
I'm very intrigued.
I'm not gonna touch it.
I don't know why these schools do that. I don't know why these schools do that.
I want to say that it's Texas. Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They're like, oh, what name is that? Bow. Luckily, my shit's accredited. You know what I'm saying? But you always want to make sure.
What's the importance of having accredited? You know,
so that other companies take you. You know, not just the people that you work with, but companies. You want the big bucks. You want the money. You want the sponsorship. You want people to be like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Like, at least there's something that she's educated in that I could work with. You know, versus as me just, you know, winging it and be like, well, yeah, I know so and so, and I may know so and so, but so and so may not be accredited in their shit either. So we all trying to work together with what we have, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of, okay, you may have this and that represent that, but I'm gonna bring this, so we come together and we represent a hard like this and like that.
Would you say it's a industry that likes to help each other while competing against each other?
No.
Okay.
No, because I'm replaceable, honey. I'm replaceable because I don't have a union, or I'm not backed by anybody that's like, ooh, hello. I back her ass all the time. Now, the beauty about being a freelance makeup artist is that you have I'm independent in a different way. It'd be nice to have like I said, financial backing, like an agency where they call me like, oh, you got to go here and there and there. But I would have to pay into that too. Or it would be like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's like progressive. Like it's still, people are still learning, or we're still learning how to like get the industry there so that everybody's like, I guess, happy, you know. But other than that, it's, oh, you're SAG, or you SAG after, or hey, you got an IMDb or MDB, and like, what do you mean? I need that as a makeup artist? Yeah, you need all of that. But what do you mean? I'm not an actor. No, you need to. They need to know that you are in the field, or you have credentials, or you does this. And I'm like, what? So that's more money I got to shell out so these people can see me? It's a lot of work. You know? So I'm honestly just grateful for the opportunities that I've had over the years from people that have given me, or if I had to search, you know, gigs or jobs here and there where people are like, oh, I know she's right for it. Like, we're going to do this, and we're hiring her. Thank you, because that means you believe in me, you know, or you take what I do serious. And honestly, that's what it's about for me.
So let's talk about some of the clientele, how you go about getting clientele. You know, you just mentioned word of mouth. Where did you find yourself working in the industry? What type of collaborations were you doing?
So like, I was doing a lot of, I want to say like avant-garde type parties, like the type of parties where people are just like expressing their inner freak, but like, you know, vanilla like. and it's nothing wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? People pay a pretty penny just to party and be safe, you know. But there's also people that don't. And I've always taken the initiative, I guess, to like always be like, hey, welcome to the event. I'm here to do your makeup. It's a safe space. Kawaii. Like, you know, that's just me.
That was just you. And not even hired for the event. That was just something that you would do all the time. Okay.
Yes. Like, I would show up to parties and be like, hey, what's up, you guys? And what are we drinking on? It'd be a $30 bottle of, like, you know, some random vodka. But yeah, bro. Or, like, Stoli, if you're nasty. You know, but whatever got us wasted in order to keep our you know, convos going. And just make sure that when you network, you keep those those people's numbers and make sure you remember what you spoke about. Like, that was a challenge. Like, and then throughout the years, you know, if you're going to work with this person again, or like, oh my God, so much fun. So much fucking fun.
I mean, granted, with that being said, I mean, you and I, we met at an event where we were all having some drinks, you know, and here we are now. So
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. See, but this is what I'm talking about.
yeah. No, we partied, we networked,
Right.
we remembered the conversation.
Exactly.
We exchanged the social media,
That's
you know,
right.
and then the next time I saw you, I was like, yo, we gotta
I was
make.
like, I'm trying to get on that. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get in there, yo.
So here we are, you know. So I can attest to that it is an effective method. You know, especially if you can remember. That's the key thing. You have to remember, though.
Right.
Okay, so you can party and make business moves. You just got to be, you know, classy and keep it all together there, okay?
Yep.
You know, speaking about, you know, classiness, professionalism, one of the things that also struck me while we were talking before the podcast was, you know, you talked about etiquette. You talked about shop etiquette. And then in parentheses, you had the words, tell a story. And the reason I'm so drawn to that is because I think about a barber. Okay, I think about a barber. I think about my barber shop etiquette. You know, what's his style? What's he? You know, how does he present himself? And to tell a story is he's telling his story while also, you know, interjecting himself into my story just a little bit to try to just, hey man, like this is what, you know, you got this going on. It's just an outside source, you know. So talk to me about the shop etiquette and then the tell a story part about it, you know, because I was very intrigued by that.
Okay, so like so some girls like to work in the salon, which is shop, and some girls like to keep shop at their house, which is to each his own, honestly, at your own risk, because when you cross a certain line in my crib, there's certain things you're not allowed to do. We supposed to be girls. We supposed to see here. We here to do hair, but you're not here to get fucked up. But yeah, some girls bring that kind of etiquette in the shop.
You're
and
a trip.
I'd rather be a trip than to, you know, be no trip. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It varies. So that's why I always say, you know, me as an individual, as a cosmetologist herself, you got to have some kind of rules, some kind of boundaries. Your girls are your girls, and like I said, they go to get their hair done from you. But whatever info, like whatever drama they got, keep it to yourself, boo. Like don't do that. Don't bring that kind of energy with you. And if you're gonna bring it with you because you know you're here to release it and let it go. I don't want to hear that you left my shop or you left my crib or whatever after the service and you outside acting like a fucking fool. Like, this is not. So it's also a bit of mental health stuff too. But telling a story wise, I used to work at Dry Bar. And Dry Bar is a dope ass place to work. Like, these are just some of the most creative stylists you will ever meet in your life. Like, a lot of them that I've worked with actually worked in the industry like part-time, but their job is literally working in the shop. Like, I think like they open at 6 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. Yeah, every day. So those are the hours, and then an extra hour if you're nasty. But anyway, the girls at the time, they didn't know I was licensed, which was fire because I was just trying to like get my feet wet, like get back into the like scene or like get back into the industry type thing. But like working a 9-to-5 type shit because I was doing a lot of like freelance work with like videos and things of that nature. So like they hired me as a receptionist, and I would take the girls in, but then I wouldn't stay at the like receptionist part. Because I ain't beat. Like, I'm not only here to just be like, hi, how are you? Yes, and your appointment's at what time? Oh, well, you're a couple minutes late, but we'll still take you. And in the back of my head, I'm going, if I was a stylist, I would not take her ass. She came late. But I'm doing this because I know that we have to, we have ratings. And these girls are Yelpers. They go ape. If they don't get their chair, like if they don't get in, they will be like cussing you out online. And before you know it, you're like, this is what they think about me online? So imagine in person. But yeah, so I got to work the front, and then I would bring the girls in, and then I would leave the receptionist table and go to the back and take the folded towels and like, you know, just like act like the place was mine. But then come back to the front and then have to like switch it back to, you know, work mode, because you can't give that part to everybody because people will walk all over you, including the clients. So they'd be like, she's fun. I'm like, yeah, I'm fun till I'm not. Like, are you checked in? You came 15 minutes late? I'm only smiling at you because I get paid to. You fucking with me. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to come in late or you can't make the time, you can't make your slot, please be courteous and call us. That's what you got to do. Because normally I will call you, but because I work for a chain or like a, like a well-known company, people aren't expecting that of us, I guess, because it's a company. It's corporate.
They want you to keep it. Yeah, I
know
got
what I'm
it.
saying?
I got it.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm the type of girl, I'll call you and be like, consultation says, you have this on your hair, blah, 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 blah. Do you want this still? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a manager. These are what the managers do. I'm just small fry. So once they put me on the line and I started doing the hair, it became like everybody was like, oh, she leveled up. And I was like, yeah, kind of.
You've been had it though, yeah.
Yeah, I was always like that. I was always the type to take multiple jobs. But I guess you could say the best story I ever had was a girl came in and she wanted a haircut. And no, not a haircut. She wanted her hair blown out, but she didn't. The way she normally blow her hair out wasn't like how she wanted to do it this time around in the shop. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna bump it. She was like, what's that? I was like, it's just when you take the hair after you wash and dry it, you blow it out and then you bump it with the iron. She was like, all right, I'll try it. White girl, cool as fuck. I forgot her name, but she told me $100 because we were Jessica. Just so like, that's so typical. Her name wasn't Jessica though. It was something like Dana or something like that. But
good old Dana.
She was just so awesome in the sense of like her attitude, because again, this was like during the pandemic, and so people were a little like standoffish. Do I wear a mask or I not wear a mask? You know, who's gonna do my hair? Who's is it? Is it a guy, a girl, whatever? People just come up with like all kinds of weird stuff, and we just kicked it like as if nobody was in the salon. And that's the kind of energy I like to have in the salon. She was totally happy. And when I was done, because I said like a dirty joke in her ear, I was like, I hope you don't mind, but she was like, ooh, girl, what you mean? And I was like, yeah. She was like, okay. She was like, I'll see you soon. I was like, all right, girl.
Slid you the $100.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but when I opened up my hand at the end of my shift at 9 p.m., I have $100 in my hand, and I'm fucking crying because this woman didn't know me from Adam, but she knew I was gonna do her hair, and she knew the service was gonna be dope. That $100 was like a dollar. It was nothing to her.
Yeah.
And that's honestly how it should be, because it's just currency. But she had a great time, you know, and that's I like the fact that she had a good time, and I want to continue that. When that happens, you want to work harder. You want to do more. You want to come into the shop longer hours. Like, I can get $100, but it's not even about that. Honestly, it's just about the nice connection that we had, you know, because she was going right. She was going through her things. I was going through mine. I was like, girl, come on, let's go. I got you. But the worst was, I don't really have worst stories though. That was a good one.
Because my next one was gonna be like best,
Yeah. No, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. You got, because it was, story time. But like, that was one of my best. One of my worst was, okay, so I had said a dirty joke. This was before I was working at Dry Bar. I was at Glam and Go, which was like Express Boutique in 30 minutes. Yay. And a friend of mine, I'm going to say her name, Natalie Galati, God bless her. She hired me. And we were middle school friends. And she was like, I'm looking for people to hire. You know, can you come in? Do you have your license? I was like, yeah, girl, I'm ready to work. Let's go. So I worked with her. At the time, I was going through hell. But no matter what, always come into work. Worry about the other shit later. And I'm in the salon. I'm doing the client's hair. And the song by Janet Jackson comes on. All my girls in the party, look at that body, shaking that thing that you ever did see. Got a nice package, all right. Guess I'm gonna have to ride it tonight. All my girls in the party, looking at that body, shaking that thing like I ever did say. I was like, it's all for you. If you really. So like, she's singing the song. I remember listening to this song in 5th grade. Like, I'm all in the clouds, you know, over the city, like just loving it, loving life. And I didn't know the song was about dick. It was about someone's package. All my girls in the party, look at that body, shaking that thing like I never did see. Got a nice package, all right. Guess I'm gonna have to ride it tonight. I'm in 5th grade.
Yeah.
5th grade. So when I mentioned it and the song came up, right, I was just jamming.
Snapping.
And the girl whose hair I'm in, she's like listening to my story. And as I'm flipping her hair, her face is turning bright red. And I'm like, oh, she must like the joke. And she was totally uncomfortable.
Oh.
She was totally uncomfortable about me talking about the song and the guy's package.
Ooh, wow.
And I didn't know that because I'm just carrying on. I'm like, all right, girl, I'm almost done with your hair. I'm going to bump the last one. She's bright red, flush red. My manager comes over to me. She goes, here, I got to talk to you. I said, okay. I said, why am I in trouble? She said, so you know your last client, right? The girl who was in the chair, who you talking about the joke and whatever. I just want to tell you, she was completely embarrassed. Like she felt uncomfortable and you did not notice. And I was like, who, homegirl? Who I just did her hair? She was giggling with me. Everything was fine. This is the problem that I have. When you are uncomfortable, say something, motherfucker. If you, can you like not talk about that? Sure, baby, you got it. That's all you got to do. I'm one of those. I'm trying to entertain you. You're not just getting your hair done. You're getting a part of me. You're getting full service, girl. You're sitting in the chair.
Yeah,
right. This is shop etiquette, salon etiquette. You want to be, and I'm from New York, so it's so easy to be like, yeah, girl, in your face. Yeah. Like, like personality. So, the actress in me is there. But I'm not acting. I'm doing a service. I'm doing your hair. And I'm also like giving you a little shuck and jive, a little dance because that's just how I get rid of the nerves. But had I known she was highly offended, I wouldn't have kept going. I wouldn't have kept going because I don't like to make people feel uncomfortable or feel like, they can't necessarily like, be themselves in the chair. I mean, if she wanted me to just be quiet during the service, I could have did so as well. But yeah, I try to keep my stories to a minimum. Or if you in my house, I'm saying whatever the fuck I want.
For sure. I would
because
expect that.
like come on, like, but in the salon, it is true. You should have some sort of speaking etiquette because not every woman has been as experienced as you, I guess, kind of thing, or understands, the world the way you do. So, but it dawned on me. I was like, oh, this is great. We're gonna talk about this. Yeah, no.
Nah, that's absolutely wild. Like people, she sounded like she was more so of an introvert,
yeah.
She just couldn't, and that's something that I could struggle with at times as well too.
Yeah.
Just because I'm well aware, like I could be like, all right, I need you to cut the shit out, like, but she may have not had the courage to do that, So
Right,
so
yeah.
that's where the fine line is.
Yeah.
But with that being said, thank you everyone for watching the Middleman Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. New episodes every Friday. On the road to episode 100, my people. On the road. We are so excited for that. We are so excited. So, let's go back into something that you touched upon with the makeup. With purchasing makeup and knowing what's inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about this just as a personal question, okay? Because I was like, what? This would be the woman to ask, right? How much does like your ethnicity and like your DNA kind of have like play in the part with products that you should or should not use? Like I use shit that probably isn't built for me at all. Like
that is a wonderful motherfucking question. So dang. That's a damn good question. Only because I grew up, right? So for instance, the makeup I use is catered to my skin complexion or whatever. But right, like they have BB cream and then they have like heavy foundation. Like depending on the brand, it works or it doesn't. It's a hit or miss. Normally, you grow up learning what your mom used or what your aunties use or what your grandmama used, whatever they use. That's basically what you use until you find something that works for you. And for me, it was, I think growing up, we had products like Almay, Maybelline, Oil of Olay, Dove, stuff like that. So I try to like take what I learned from them. And then when I apply it on myself, if it works for me, I'll continue to use it. But if not, I'm going to find either something that works like it or like find the active ingredient in it that makes the product so that I could find it in the next product that could be for me. So like if I found Lancome, like lotion for your face and it has like retinol in it and it's supposed to help tighten the skin and all of that. it could work for my mom, but it might not work for me. It might give me a rash, or it might make my face break out because maybe I don't need retinol right now. You know, just saying. Maybe I don't need it. But she says it works for her, and like me in loving her and her advice, I'll say, okay, ma, I'll try it. And if it works, then cool. I'll allow my friends know. But other than that, it's just knowing what works for you through trial and error. But don't be afraid to ask your friends, even your male friends, what could work, because you know, again, this is all trial and error. Like this you could use pretty much anything on your face as long as you're not allergic. I've had Sharpie on my eyeliner. I probably wouldn't recommend using Sharpie that close to your lash line, but you know, there are people that have made eyelash or not eyelash glue, but like eyeliner out of tar. I've seen it. You know,
Wow.
like it's just different. There's also like you have like natural perfume, natural makeup. It basically like, you know, smushing berries and then like learning the science of using the ink and then like adding something else to make it into our actual eyeliner where it stays. Like, you know, knowing the chemical processes is fire. Like basically just knowing what it does. And it could be anything. Like it doesn't necessarily matter. I think honestly, when it comes to when people be like, yo, can I it's marketing. It's motherfucking marketing at its finest. Like, if you see a black girl on a white product or a white girl on a black product, who are you to say that the product is black or the product is white? Marketing.
You know, I posed that question.
Get mad if you want to. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what it is.
I posed that question because, you know, I believe that you know, we all have a little bit something encrypted in our DNA.
Oh
right?
yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, you could look at me, a Salvadorian, right, an American Salvadorian, right, and then an authentic 100% lived in El Salvador their whole life, and we might look similar, but there could be a few things that are different, and it could just be like the texture of our skin, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, it could be because, you know, they're using other products that, you know, ran in the family bloodline for so long, right?
Right.
That it's so natural and
Yeah.
just, you know, it's a third world country over there. It's not
Right.
like over here where you go to Walmart and go buy some freaking regular lotion and
Yeah.
try every single one.
Mhm.
And I do think about that. You know, I do think about just like, okay, maybe I'm not using the best shampoo for my hair.
Right. Okay.
And it's interesting,
Yeah.
and I really didn't think about it until, you know, we are having this conversation right now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a cool little eye opener.
Yeah. Well, if you told me, like, if you sat down in a consultation with me and told me, hey, Ari, I'm having like issues with like oily scalp, or like my skin is dry, you know, like around the wintertime it gets like this, I could somewhat determine what to give you, like what you should go get or what you should try out. And then you know, all of our diets are different, so certain products are going to react differently. And whether you grew up with it in your family or not, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like there's some parents, you know, they'll be like, "Oh, this is tried and true. This is good soap." Like black soap. Black soap is great until you find out that it's not made from a certain place, or like there's additives in it that might, you know, give you a rash or whatever. Like again, try it. If it works, cool. If not, something else. Nothing wrong with that.
So where are we at now? Are you still finding clientele? You know, just like where are you at in your journey right now? You know, it sounds like you've talked to me about highs and lows. You know,
Yeah.
and where are we right now?
I think for right now, it's just like re-entry.
Okay.
I done did what I did for as long as I could. And now it's just like, okay, I'm revamping myself, like reapproaching everything. Cause like it used to be just go. Oh, this gig is here. This that but that go. Like you know, no breaks. But now it's like, I guess I have like there's a huge like spiritual break for me, because I was really in it. Like I don't care. Like it was like my phone would ring all the time. My phone don't ring. My phone don't ring. My phone don't bang no more, bro. I need some kind of like hey girl, yeah, you know, I was wondering, you in the area, cause I seen you on this project and I was wondering if you was interested in oh yeah, girl, I'll be there. It's not like that no more. It's like oh, I'm gonna put this in your ear now, you know, 2 weeks prior to the actual project. but the person who's telling you about the project is actually working on that project the same day they called you. What the fuck? Like, are you messing with my emotions? Are you messing with my intelligence? But these are the kinds of people that help create character and really push your personality to a point where it's like, okay. Like, let them be that way. That's why they are that way. That's why you're the way you are, and you come through in the clutch the way you do, so that they could be that way. Just learn. Learn not to like be like that, you know? Like I think a lot of people I was working with were like fake.
Fugazi.
And so
Fugazi. Zawazi is the woozy is fairy dust.
And if they wasn't that right. If they wasn't that, they was barely existing. So sometimes you got to have that one person that's willing to risk it all. And like everywhere you go, you know that person's like that. So, you know, yeah, like I need to hang out with more me's, but instead I got more thems. And it's okay because, yeah.
I'm going to ask you a brilliant question right now because I love, you know, you look at your social media, right? Mm-hmm. And it's apparent, you know, it's very apparent. You love yourself, you know, you love yourself, right? And that's beautiful. That's great. Everyone should love themselves, right? But, and you just said, I need to hang out with more me's and less of them, right?
Yeah.
What do you love so much about yourself? Talk to me. What is one of your key highlights? What do you take a lot of pride in?
Honestly, I think I take a lot of pride in the fact that I am old school with a lot of things. And unfortunately, there's not that many people left when it comes to old school. But the ones that are still here, I don't know. Like I still clean the dishes, take the trash out. Like the whole part about being authentic and genuine is to me is still doing things like that, you know, like humbling things. I recycle. Yeah. Probably not the way everybody else does, but no, I mean, whatever. I am an avid recycler. I would get on your ass if plastics are in the glass and stuff like that. But yeah.
No, you know, it's apparent. It's apparent that you enjoy yourself. You know, you enjoy your time alone. You enjoy being able. You know what I love most about you as well is you know what you decide to wear that day kind of tells what type of mood you're in. Okay, and you know, it's like you can see it with all the outfits, with all the different styles of hair. It's like, okay, like she either means business, she's being a little bit funny and quirky. You know, she wants to look good, she wants to look fierce, sexy, you know, whatever the case may be. And that is, I love that for you, you know.
Thank you.
It's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
You literally can put on many caps.
Yeah, no, that's honestly like I said, or actually I didn't say, but I kind of grew up in like the legitimate aqua community where we would like go to like house events and like, you know, everybody would dress up and like we would basically like had to represent the house. And like, you know, it was a thing where you had to create on the spot. If you got lucky to have at least a day to 2 weeks to a month to create a fit, to create an outfit and have the look and then like walk in it. Like that was that kind of preparation was like everything. I mean, you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for the hood you came from or from like, you know, your family. Like you doing it to represent. So like it was like a thing where it's like, I could do this, you know? And even if I can't do it, I'm gonna do it anyway. Cause I like dressing up. I like dressing up for the war that I cannot see.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. I like wearing clothes that have a bold statement. Like I always believed in having a statement piece, something on your head, a jacket, maybe a shoe, a ring, a bracelet, something that represents you. And it doesn't have to define you, but it's you know, it's a party. It's like, oh, I like wearing this. Like it's what is that word? Like a conversation starter, you know? Like when you're like outside and people are like, what do I talk about? I don't know what to talk about. It's like, oh, I like your jacket. Oh, thanks. I like your jacket. I like it. Where you get it from? Oh, it's a custom. It's a custom. What, you make clothes? Yeah, I make clothes. You know, but I don't make clothes. Like I'll design something if I want to, but that's just a part of the creative side in me. That's like, no, when you go to this party, you bought this like this, but you're gonna show them how you really do by wearing it like this, and that's a part of individualism as well.
You're a creative mind, a creative soul, revamping yourself, and you're full of energy. And
Thank you.
I absolutely enjoyed how authentic you were.
Thank you.
During the entire show. You know, you'd be speaking to the people knowing that they would be listening and not afraid to you wouldn't bite your tongue on some of the statements that you needed to say.
No.
I mean, one of the craziest outlandish was an hour after maybe taking back shots. I was like, hold up.
Wait, what shots? Where? When did I say that?
You said that in the beginning when we were talking about models.
Oh well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
was
I mean, I'm
crazy.
not gonna be out here and be like, yeah, well, I know so and so.
Yeah, no, we don't gotta drop that tea.
We don't.
We'll save that for tea time.
For real though. But it's just, it's either you take control or you don't. Somebody else to do it for you, and that's honestly what picking up the brush did for me. It was like I could still model, but I'm also skilled. Like I can do this. That there was power in it. Like I can't even describe it. It was like, oh my God, something about this feels so right, and it feels so good because not only do I understand where the models are coming from because I used to model, but I could also I could level with them, and they don't have to be afraid with me, or they don't have to be like, oh, I got to be bougie and fake. No, you just. What happened? What's up, girl? We here in the shoot together. Like, they'll tell me the whole story real quick, cry, or whatever they got to do before we start. And then we start. That's a blessing. Like, I want you to feel comfortable with me. I don't want you to feel like, I can't do this. Like, no. If you feel like that, then I can't do it either. Like, what? No. We know. We here. We doing this. We finish it. And then you go home.
I love that. You said the brush basically, empowered you.
Yeah,
made you feel
totally.
empowered.
Hell
And,
yeah.
We're going to get ready to sign off here and get into tea time. But before we do that, I would love to give you the floor if there's anything that we missed, if there's any final messages that you want to tell the people, especially people who are starting out in the industry, because it seems like it's one that is, you need to be extremely knowledgeable. You mentioned, college, but also maybe the paper's not going to do shit for you. It all depends on where you insert yourself to.
Yeah.
So maybe leave some people who are, starting off in the industry, trying to figure out their way. And I think you definitely did a great job at informing them of the harm, but also the good in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you're just getting your feet wet, don't stop. You're gonna and take any gig that you could put your actual hands on. There's nothing wrong with really how do I say it? It's like you have to invest in yourself, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's just learning what's around you and really making it work. However, when it comes to information and stuff like that, you could look at the cosmetology books. You could read what's in them. Getting to know different types of makeup brands, different types of brushes. If there's sponsorships for them, go for the sponsorships. Go for the programs or the companies that are okay, we're looking for you. Oh, you're looking for me? Well, I was looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Email them. Start just cramming their inbox. Let them know that you're there and that you're ready to work. But if that doesn't work, just, you could start at any old Sephora or, Makeup Forever and just be by the counter. And, you start off easy like that.
Work your way up. I mean,
similar
to how you did, when you were at the counter and they're like, oh, she leveled up. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I've been here. I got this.
I mean, not to be oh, blah, 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 but I put in an application for Sephora and a woman in a hijab literally looked at me and said, we're not hiring right now. And I said it like that because it was sis, this is the same location that told me to come in with my resume. And now you're telling me I'm not qualified. And she said, well, you would have to work the counter first. And this is when I fresh came out of school. I was like, huh? Why would I work the counter if I'm a makeup artist? And she said, well, if you want to work as a makeup artist in the chair, you have to do cashier first.
Wow.
I said, okay. Okay.
What an industry.
I'm telling you, you will get tried.
You got to be humble.
Stay true.
You'll be tried, exactly. They're going to test your gangster.
Yes.
But stay true to yourself. And with that being said, we're going to transition into tea time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez. Disco Make Up Arie. Thank you for joining me here. It was a fantastic show.
Me.
We'll catch you all next week.